Yep, home to Missouri, who Barry Odom, similar to myself, is coaching his alma mater, and through the SEC head coaches meeting, I've gotten to know him well, got a lot of respect for him. He's a really good ball coach. I thought the job he did last year was just remarkable, to go through the tough start they started with, and then to come in and really play us tough, and then to go on I guess a 9-1 streak is what they've been on, and they got really good football team. Obviously a premier quarterback in the country, a premier wideout in the country. They're really big. They've got massive tight ends. Their front on the defense is leading the SEC in rushing defense, and they're really physical up front. So when you look at them as a whole, they're built SEC built. They're really a physical team, and I think he's done a tremendous job. They've made a commitment to the run game this year with the hiring of Derek Dooley. They're trying to run the ball and be more physical, and they've done that in their first games. They got good backs. So our guys are excited for the opportunity. We'll get to work on these guys today.
You have a question, raise your hand, please.
Coach, how has Drew Lock gotten better since the last time y'all played him last season? I know you have a lot of film on him going back to 2 seasons ago as well, playing him in Columbia. Just what's the progression been like for him as you guys prepare for him for a third time?
Well, I don't know if his arm can get any stronger. So his arm he can make every throw. He threw the ball almost out of the stadium last year on his. I think the biggest thing is his maturity level, his confidence. He's seen the coverages, he's seen the checks. He understands where he wants to go with the ball. He's got as fast a release as I've ever seen. I mean, he can get the ball out so quick, and he does such a good job of keying your defenders and knowing where to go with the ball. You can tell they really work hard on it, and I think he's just more mature. I think anytime you play in this conference and you go to the venues he's gone to have 3 years under your belt, or being in your 3rd year, I mean, it makes it a lot more comforting. He throws the ball with purpose, and he puts them in the right play a lot, and he's a really good athlete. The guy takes off running on some zone reads, he keeps the ball, and he exposes people. I mean, he runs for 20 and 30 when he takes off and does it. He just doesn't do it very often. You can tell he's a good athlete. So I got a lot of respect for him, and you can tell the way he runs and scrambles and throws the ball. He's a competitor.
Coach, is it fair to say you guys have maybe held back on some of your pressure?
Let's get a microphone
sorry.
to you there. There you go.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Such a big room, Claude.
Coach, would it be fair to say you guys have held back on some of your pressures, maybe not showing your hand just because of the nature of the game so far?
Probably not fair to say that. I mean, probably fair to say we haven't pressured much. Obviously, based on the statistics, we haven't pressured a whole lot, but I don't know that we've held back on any. I mean, we're a run-stop first team, and we haven't had a lot of opportunities. Like I said, after the South Carolina game, I didn't think that we rushed the passer real well and affected the quarterback. I don't think we had many opportunities last week, but no, I wouldn't say we held back. We are who we are. We're not keeping secrets. We got tape out there of what our defense is, and they've got tape out there of what their offense is. I think that's a lot of times you do special things in certain games, and you might have your change-ups, but for the most part, you are who you are, and I would say the same thing offensively.
Coach, I know you're going to try to pronounce his last name. The tight end, Missouri. What type of problems did he give y'all last year? He's a guy with size and he's athletic, but what are the difficulties in going up against a tight end who can make plays and collect this stats like a
Yeah, he's like I'll call him Albert for shortness sake, but he's a really good player. I mean, the guy is, and Derek being a tight ends guy, they know how to use this guy. I mean, he's really talented. And the other kid, Landon, is a great player. I mean, I don't know that you'll see a combination of 2 tight ends. Everybody talks about our tight ends. These guys, when you watch them in warm-ups for the last 2 years, I mean, when you go over and see this Blanton in warm-ups, he looks like an offensive tackle. He's huge, and he can run. And then 81 Albert is a tremendous athlete. They put him in receiver locations. They do things with him that they do with receivers. But he can also double up and come block. So that creates an issue for us because you don't have many defenders that match up well with 6'5", 265 out there on the perimeter. So they do a good job using those guys. They've got talented players on offense, which is why they've got really good numbers.
Kirby, I think a lot of folks had you guys penciled in for the getting to Atlanta, winning the East in the preseason, and 3-0 now. What do you see in your division and Missouri in particular, the challenges that lie up when you start this stretch of SEC games?
Yeah, we're focused 100% on Missouri because we know what they've done. We know how we felt during the game last year. When there were some times they were really explosive on us, and we've got to go out and focus on playing these guys. As far as the rest of the SEC East or SEC, I can't tell you. I'm not concerned with it. I'm really focused on the challenges that Missouri presents, which is really big physical players, experienced quarterback, a tough place to play, all the combinations that you look for. They've got good players at each position.
I'm sure you mentioned Derek Dooley taking over as offensive coordinator at Missouri this year. With that in mind, how much will you look at what Missouri was able to do last year, how success against your defense? Are there similarities between what they did last year and what they're doing this year?
Yeah, you always look at all of it. I mean, you look at everything and you kind of put it in a compartment and say, okay, what can they pull from? So yeah, we look at last year. They have some similarities to their offense last year, and they've also got some differences. They've got some differences in the run game. And, they'll have different things. Every offense has different things for each game. So they'll have some new wrinkles, and they got a good team. So they'll have to go out and play well.
Coach, last week you talked about how Rodrigo's sort of becoming a weapon on special teams. This week, Mecole takes his first punt back. Camarda's averaging almost 48 yards a punt. How big of an advantage is it for you guys to have playmakers touching the ball pretty much every special teams snap?
Well, if they continue to toe meat leather well like Rod's done, I think Jake would be the first to tell you he's got to get some more hang on some of his kicks. And his distance has to match his hang, and we got to do a good job covering him better. And that's something we continue to work on. Mecole's always been an explosive player with the ball, and I was very pleased to see him get his first opportunity to return one all the way back. And looking at it, there were a lot of guys that helped him do that. And we always demand excellence in special teams. We work really hard on it, and we'll continue to do that to try to create advantages in the kicking game.
Coach, you alluded to Drew Lock. A lot of times the philosophy is a good defense is the best against an offense like that, but you can't miss that what Purdue did through the air against Missouri. So I'm wondering is the temptation to match him, and play that way, or will you stick to your run game and will you be 100% at the running back position?
Yeah, we expect to be 100% of the running back position like we were Saturday. As far as what our game plan will be, I don't think I should divulge that. I mean, exactly. Are we going to stick to our plan to be balanced? Absolutely. Are we going to go out and try to throw it every down? They don't throw it every down. I mean, they score a lot of points, but they do it in different methods. So we're going to do prepare to be able to score points the best way possible and stop them from scoring points is the objective.
Coach, follow up on Kamara, speak about how he needs to improve and everything.
I say you got to improve where his distance and his hang match, not necessarily. I mean, he's kicking the ball well. It's just sometimes that he outkicks his coverage, and we want our distance and hang to match. Meaning, if we kick it 50 yards, we want 5-second hang. He's done it for the most part. We just had a couple Saturdays that didn't do that.
Great. Well, do y'all have a focus on it all, like pinning teams inside the team instead of the ball, going for touchback on every play?
Yeah, we tried to do that. I mean, that's the goal. I think when he has a certain yard line that we have that he sky kicks it, which would be pinning. At a certain point, we want him to kick it full. Well, there's a couple yard lines that he's hit it full, and he's hit it so good that he kicked it in the end zone, not with that intent. So, I mean, he's probably got to use his pitching wedge instead of his 8-iron sometimes, and just to be able to do a little better job with it. But that's something that we always work on. It's never the intent to kick it in the end zone. And I think a lot of those, he hasn't had many sky opportunities. The one he had against South Carolina right before the half, I thought he did a great job. I think he pinned him on the 8 or 9 or something. But some of his other kicks have been out of sky territory, and he's just bombed them.
Yeah, Coach, we saw y'all come out and with 4 corners early against Middle Tennessee. What did you think of the way William and Mark played in that formation, and how much more are you going to need them against an air attack offense like Missouri? Do you think they're ready to play really well against that type of style?
Yeah, I don't know that I would say we had four corners. I don't look at it that way. That's not how we explain it. I mean, Mark is a corner, but Mark plays multiple positions. Poole is a star. He's a nickel, so he's not really a corner. But we'll do the things we have to do to try to contain him. It's not necessarily, I think you guys see it as stats and you say, oh, they got to play a lot of DBs. This team is big who we're playing. They are huge on the offensive front, including their tight ends. They have much better backs than they've had in the past. They are a more physical team. So to put four corners out there, they have a 6'5" and a 6'6", 265-pound tight end. I don't think those corners are going to match up real good with those tight ends when it comes to them being able to be multiple in their formations. So they do a good job of keeping you honest in that regard.
Coach, can you update us on the status of Andrew and Terry, what the plan is for them this week?
Yeah, Andrew, we're hoping we'll be able to get active a little more. He's been running, he's been moving. I don't know if he'll be able to practice today, but he's probably going to be rehabbing and be out there with us. Hopefully get him back. Terry is okay. Terry should practice today. He does have a contusion, but I think he'll be able to go today.
What's your relationship with Derek Dooley from working with him in the past, and what have you noticed in terms of tweaks to the offense under him?
I think Derek has brought some good changes for them. The physicality, I think, is what Barry's intent was in getting Derek, the ability to run the ball, which they did at the Cowboys, and Derek's done throughout his career. The commitment to that, to run the ball, and even though you've got a potential high-round draft pick at quarterback, they still have a commitment to run the ball and get physical. I think that's important in this league, and they've made that. That's the biggest change that I've seen is that, but they've kept a lot of the elements that are tough to defend in this offense. So he's done a good job of that. As far as Derek and I's relationship, we worked together at Miami. We're good friends, and we're at LSU at the same time. I have a lot of respect for his dad, and Derek and I have always been good friends.
I guess this came up with defending Debo Samuel in South Carolina again, Emmanuel Hall, Missouri. It's kind of a similar situation. They got one very accomplished guy, but other good receivers. With DeAndre, is the overall strategy to still kind of keep him on one side of the field when possible, or do you like to have him follow around guys, or what?
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out because I don't know exactly what they're going to do. So it'll be a little bit of a chess match when it comes to what will they do. I'm certainly not going to show our hand of what we're going to do. So we have to wait and see what they do with their wideout, who's an exceptional player, seen last year by everybody. I mean, he lit up the stadium, and he's lit it up this season, and nobody's really been able to keep up with him. So we'll have to see how they play with him and see what we do. We have the ability to do a lot of things with our guys. Their pace of play doesn't make it easy. Everybody would just say, well, just put DeAndre on him, let him shadow him. Well, it's not that easy because the ball can be on this hash, that hash, fastball, they go quick, they have a lot of tempo. It's not that easy.
No, I was gonna ask you.
You mentioned Saturday that what you see from Elijah on game days is what you see in practice. Can you talk about what you saw from him in practice as he waited for this opportunity the last 2 years?
Yeah, same thing that I see now. I mean, he practices tough, physical. I mean, every day for him is physical. I mean, he doesn't have there's not a day he goes out there and says, well, I'm taking this day off, or I'm not going full speed today. He's not a guy you have to motivate. He loves the game. He practices hard. I think he really likes competition. When he gets thudded by a guy, he always likes to come back and get that guy back. And you kind of see that out there in his play. He likes contact, and he's a bowling ball. He's hard to bring down. He's really tough.
Kirby, how would you assess your quarterback play so far, and what did you see from yours on Saturday?
I've been pleased with both guys. I think both guys are improving. Both of them have room for improvement, and they both continue to work hard and prepare. And I think the biggest thing for each one of them is, can you continue to prepare at the right level so that you're prepared for every situation you can be presented in the game. As far as what Justin did in the game the other day, I thought he did a good job.
Hands up for the questions. Time for one more, anybody? Do you have a question? Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.